Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to draw some different types of dogs. And if you're in class with me, then we're going to turn these, we're going to put some Christmas sweaters or maybe some funky different kinds of clothes on these animals. But if you're not in class with me and you're just learning how to draw animals, then I would love to see what you turn these into, okay? So the first dog we're going to start with is an Aussie. And I have an Aussie, or an Australian Shepherd, and her name is actually, we call her Little Lucy. Because she's a miniature. But the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to draw some ears on her, okay? And her ears kind of look like this right here, and then they come up. And one of her ears always kind of does this little funky thing here. But you don't have to draw the ears exactly like mine if you don't want to. So she has this little fluff fur that comes over here on each side of her head. Because Aussies actually have what's called a double coat. So they're made to, like their coats, their fur, I know it sounds crazy, but their fur keeps them cool during the summer and warm during the winter. And it's the way their coat is made. So sometimes in like Central America, like where it's really, really hot, or even Africa, they wear like long sleeve shirts to keep the sun off of them. And that's kind of what these dogs do. Their double coat, it keeps the sun off them and it keeps them cool. Which I know here in Tennessee, if we're hot, it's like we layer our clothes, right? Because we could have every season in one day here in Tennessee. So it's a little bit different. It's hard to comprehend. But I know if we get hot, like we take our sweatshirt off and then we're good to go, right? Well, Aussies and dogs can't really do that, right? So Aussies have double coats to keep them warm and cool. So my Lucy, she has the funky fur pattern. She's called a mist-marked dog. So she's white here in the middle, and she has some brown or black little speckles on her, and then she's mostly black up here. So I'm just going to color in or make little lines to remind myself to make those black, and then she's got some brown here, and then she's black again under here. So and then I'm going to come in, and if you're in class with me, we're going to put Christmas sweaters on different animals. So I'm going to kind of make mine have like these long paws here, and then have like a Christmas sweater, and then I'm going to put, she actually has a little stumpy tail. I'm going to put a little stumpy tail there, and then I'm going to add some detail to her, and I might color some different things, but I'm not going to add any detail down here because we're going to put a Christmas sweater on her, right? So just add detail up here if you want to put like a crayon or whatever you want to on our first animal drawing, you can go for it. So there's an Aussie. So the next dog we're going to draw, and remember to try to fill up the whole paper, okay? I'm trying to save paper, so I'm folding my paper, but pretend if this is the whole sheet of paper, I'm going to fill it up. But the next dog we're going to draw is a hound. So I'm going to come up, and hounds have really, really long faces. So I'm going to kind of draw it long like this, okay? And remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video, okay? I've had lots and lots of practice, so I would expect you all to have to pause the video or rewind the video to be able to keep up, okay? So then I'm going to draw eyeballs. Have you noticed how hounds always look kind of sad? They don't always look kind of sad. They just have droopy faces, which is really cute. So there is kind of the hound that I've drawn, and then I can come down here and add some like little legs maybe. And remember, we're going to put Christmas sweaters on these little dogs or little animals. So there is a hound, and I might color in his nose, or I might add some speckles or different things. So I can't wait to see what you turn this little guy into. He kind of looks like a wiener dog. Maybe he's a dachshund or a hound. You can decide. Okay. So I'm gonna flip this over. We're gonna draw another one. Oh my goodness, this one. These dogs are different. These dogs are, we're gonna draw a pug this time. So I'm gonna start with their ears, and their ears kind of look like these funky little triangles, right? And then I'm gonna attach down there. I'm gonna touch here at their one ear and come around and then come down like this and then come back around. And then I'm gonna come up here and kind of make this like boomerang shape. Make a nose, put some little dots, and color that in. I'm gonna have his tongue sticking out. I'm gonna color this in because that's the inside of his mouth. I'm just gonna put some marks there to remind me to color that in. I'm gonna color in his nose, and I'm gonna draw some eyeballs. I'm gonna draw some highlights on his eyeballs. And I'm gonna color in his pupils, right? And remember to pause the video if I'm going too fast. And then I can add some eyebrows or eyelashes. I can add whatever details I want to. But remember, if you're in class with me, we're going to put Christmas sweaters on these animals. Okay? So, there is our pug. Alright? Now, the next one we're going to draw is a poodle. Okay? A poodle. So, poodles are a little different. Sometimes they have these little floofs. So I'm going to start with a floof. And then I'm going to come down, and they have kind of long faces, kind of like the hounds. But then, their owners like to do floofs for their ears, too. I love that word, floof. So I'm going to do 2 floofs for their ears. And then I'm going to do some eyeballs really close to the top floof. Okay? I'm going to color in the pupil. Then I'm going to add a nose down here at the bottom, but the nose, I'm going to put a highlight on the nose. Okay? And I can color in the nose. And then I'm going to come down here with the body. And remember, we're going to put a Christmas sweater on him, okay? So, and I might actually fix that floof. And I might color in the top, make him, have some black color. Might add some whiskers, eyelashes. You can add whatever detail you want to. Okay? Alright. So the next one we're going to draw, I'm going to fold my paper. Remember, you keep your paper big and you make sure that you draw your animals really big. Okay? And if you need to practice, make sure you get a piece of practice paper. The next one we're going to draw, I'm just going to call him a golden retriever. So, what we're going to do is we're going to draw his ear first. And he kind of has ears like an Australian Shepherd. I'm going to come over here, draw another ear. Remember, and if you make a mistake, just turn it into a beautiful, like, happy accident. Right? Like Bob Ross says. So I'm going to come around like this. And they have these kind of like slobbery, like, lips, right? That they do. So, and then I'm going to draw a nose, and on this nose I'm going to draw a highlight on his nose. And then I'm going to kind of draw some insets for his eyes. I'm going to draw some circles, a little thing like that. Another circle, kind of like a little wing. And then I'm going to color in this whole eye black. Both his eyes. I'm going to color them in black. Because sometimes dogs' eyes, like their pupils are so big that you like can't really see what color their eyes are. Okay. And I'm going to make this a little bit of fur where I messed up. And I'm going to make this kind of furry too. You know what? I might make this a chocolate lab instead of a golden lab. I can color him dark. I kind of messed up, right? Okay. And then I'm going to kind of do this. And then I'm going to come down here and make his body. And Goldens or Labs or Retrievers, whatever, they're all kind of similar, right? They kind of have these like furry bodies, which is really cool. But we're going to put Christmas sweaters on them, so we might not need to make all that furry body if you're in class with me. So that's kind of how I draw a golden retriever. Now, the last one we're going to draw is a pit. And I have a pit mix. That is a brother to Lucy. His name is Baxter. So that's who I'm going to draw. So I'm going to start with one of his ears. And he kind of has these ears that come out and around kind of like this. And then they have this little bottom piece, right? Have you all ever noticed those in some dogs? And I'm going to come down here and do a snout. He's got these huge, like, flaps, is what I call them. But they're like I guess the sides of his cheeks, I guess is what they're called. And pits actually have a line that goes down their forehead and down their nose. And pits usually are really sweet towards people. Now, you're never supposed to approach a dog unless the owner says it's okay, right? You're never supposed to pet a dog unless the owner says it's okay. Because I know, like, our Baxter, we got him from the shelter, and he's so sweet. But he, when we first got him, was super scared. And he just wanted to protect us because we were, I guess nice to him and, got him out of the shelter. But if we took him out places, it was really hard. But people wanted to keep petting him, but we were trying to train him, and he was really protective, but we didn't. We wanted him to be protective, but we also wanted him to be kind to people. But he was just learning, right? So anytime you see a dog that's not yours, you should always ask the owner first if it's okay to pet him, because they might be training, and they might not want you to pet their dog, right? So, remember, we're going to put a Christmas sweater on him. So that's kind of how, I might put some more wrinkles. He's got some wrinkles and some dots. My Baxter does. Oh, and actually my Baxter has some scars on his face. It's really kind of sad, but they make him who he is. He's got some scars right above his eye. So that's how you draw a pit. So those are all the different kinds of dogs that I have to show you today, and I cannot wait to see what you all turn these into. So if you turn them into something really cool, send me a copy. I'd love to see. All right, happy making, guys.